Good evening. Welcome to the Riverside Fire Information Update. My name is Michelle Fiddler. I'm a Public Information Officer with the Southwest Area Incident Management Team. We will have representatives from our Incident Management Team here tonight to give you an update on the fire situation, as well as some of our host agencies, and give you an introduction of kind of where we're at in the fire and where it'll be headed over the next few days. Before we begin, I just want to make sure everybody's aware our information is also available online on InciWeb. We'll share a link in the chat here. You can find our phone number on there, as well as other updates to other social media sites where these videos will be available. With that, we'll go ahead and get started with our fire update this evening. I'd like to introduce Jake Nettle. He's our Operations Section Chief here on the Southwest Area Incident Management Team.
All right, evening everybody. Jake Nettle, Operations Section Chief with Southwest Incident Management Team 1. We'll start with a quick overview of where we're at on the fire. Glen Haven area, we've got Colton, Estacada, Highway 26 corridor, Timothy Lake over here. So we'll go ahead and start just like we have been every evening. Is where we're going to start is on here on the southwest side. So once again, just to make sure as a reminder, we've actually got direct and indirect line, right? So the direct line is anything right adjacent to the fire's edge. Indirect line is going to be just hand line, dozen line, stuff like that, that is just a little bit further away from the fire's edge. So we've got that all the way through, all the way up to the Estacada area, and then included down to that. So all of that hand line, dozen line, and all that stuff, what we're currently doing is working that with our hand crews, our engines, and then also the heavy equipment throughout the area. They've all been working on making sure that we continue the mop-up process. Things are looking really well through the whole area. Obviously, because of the efforts of all the firefighters out on the ground, we've been able to just keep continuously raising the containment throughout the period. So essentially, this area is looking really good. We're keeping the firefighters in the area. And over the last 2 days, we've actually received measurable moisture, right? So all the rain coming in and everything. Yesterday, really good showers throughout the day. Today, it's been off and on throughout the day of received moisture. And so with the winds and everything, our lines have been really tested on this side. Winds, moisture, we've had a little bit of drier weather. So those conditions that we've seen have really tested the lines that we've got in place, and things are looking really good through the area. In this area, this is where we put our indirect line up until the wilderness boundary. This is about 3/4 of the way through with all the prep work from the heavy equipment and those pieces of hand crews. So everything is looking really good in time for preparation. And if there was ever a need to be able to have to utilize these lines because of any type of fire advancement. In addition to, here's the Abbott Road that splits the two wildernesses. Right now, we're about halfway through with the prep work of all this area. We've mentioned the roads, the rock slide in this area, that's been improved. So now all of our resources can be able to have through traffic and be able to just continue to gain on that prep work, getting this in place. On this side, it continues down to the 5758 junction using our road systems. And where we're at right now, we're about 90% complete on all the prep work that is needed in order to use this as a holding feature. In addition to all the equipment and everything, last piece is that we've continued on down to the south. We've been working with the incident management team on the Lions Head fire, making sure that we have all those lines, indirect lines connected. And so we're almost there to being able to be connected with the incident management team down to the south. Probably one more day's worth of work and that'll be all completed. In addition to, just to talk about some of the smokes, the interior stuff that we've been having, there's going to be continuous smoke. There will be continuous, just really creeping type fire throughout the area. So when we do see the smokes, we make sure that if there's anything that could be a threat to the lines, we make sure to take care of that with our resources. In addition to, with some of the containment that we were seeing, we're able to release some of the resources that are in the area to be able to say, support other incidents throughout the western half of the United States. So what you will see is a reduction in force. It's minimal. At the peak, I think we're at 728 firefighters. We're seeing a little bit of reduction, but nothing significant by any means, because we still got a lot of work out throughout the area. So that gives you your operational update for today. Thanks.
Hi there, my name is Christian Cassell, incident meteorologist for the Riverside Fire. My job is to provide weather information to incident management team in order to make critical safety and tactical decisions. So the fire area received almost anywhere between 3/4 of an inch to over 1.5 inches of rain since yesterday afternoon. And the great news is we have much more rain coming this way. So tomorrow here, and take a look at our weather matrix that I provide the incident management team in order to help them plan how they will handle management of the fire over the next several days. So if we see here tomorrow, we see a lot of green up here. So very cool temperatures. Sorry. Here.
One more time.
Yay. So we have a lot of green here. Very cool temperatures, high humidity. In fact, we're expecting rain to begin in the morning and go pretty much all day, tapering off to showers, but still fairly widespread through the evening hours tomorrow. Rainfall amounts anywhere from around 1/2 inch to up to 1 inch of rain, badly needed. So combined with the rain that we just saw, that's going to be a very significant amount of rain in just a few days. That's good news. The one safety aspect of the next 24 hours, the winds right here out of the south to southwest tomorrow. We already got reports over the last 48 hours, especially yesterday with the stronger winds, especially at higher elevations. We saw a lot of snags and fire-weakened trees fall. I expect gusts not quite as strong as yesterday, but still strong enough, 25 to 40 mile an hour gusts to cause some issues with trees and snags in the burned area. So going to Saturday, continue to cool, just a little breezy. There'll be some showers around, so we'll just add on to what we've already received. Generally, the amounts will be less than 1/10 of an inch on Saturday. Sunday, a transition day, high pressure will start to build over the region. With light winds, and then as we go into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we'll start to see high pressure bring sunny, seasonably warm, seasonably dry weather. Some offshore winds or east winds is what we call them. Good news is they don't appear to be strong. They appear to be just light. What I'm foreseeing is just a really pleasant next week, where we're not seeing any of these extreme conditions. So really good news all around. And again, I just want to stress, we'll be keeping a really close eye just to make sure we won't see an event like we saw in early September. The great news is I do not see anything like that on the horizon. So with that, that's your weather update. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Good evening, Stuart Turner, Fire Behavior. So as a fire behavior analyst for the Southwest Team 1, I predict what the fire is going to do, where it's going to go, and how big it's going to get. And one of the things I look at is the weather. And the weather is really driving the fire behavior on this fire. So as you can imagine, with all that precipitation, that's really influencing those fuels out there. It's moistening them up, so they're not available to burn. So we're going to continue to see the smoldering fuels and the larger logs, the stumps, that type of thing. That's not going to go away in the near future, even with all this rain. It will diminish. We're going to see a lot less of those out there on the fire, and we're going to see a lot less smoke around the fire because of this precipitation. But we will continue to see that smoldering fire behavior tomorrow, so that's Saturday and into Sunday. And then as we get into that drying trend, you just heard from our meteorologist, we're going to see the smoke reappear in areas that were isolated or sheltered, that they didn't get a lot of that rainfall to extinguish them. So that'll give us an idea of where we have problem areas, and we can get in there and mop those up. So once again, we're going to continue to see smoldering and no perimeter growth for tomorrow. Thank you.
Next up, I would like to introduce our incident commander for the Southwest Area Incident Management Team, Alan Sinclair.
Good evening, everybody. Alan Sinclair with Southwest Area Team Number 1. Guess the big update for everybody is we have been here for 2 weeks, and we have spent yesterday evening and then all day today going through a transition with Pacific Northwest Team 3 under the leadership of Noel Livingston. So I'd like to introduce everybody to Noel. And as of about 10 minutes ago, his team is now in command of the fire, and we'll be heading home to spend time with our families. I know my mom's watching. Hi, Mom. See you soon.
Thanks, Alan. My name is Noel Livingston. I'm the Incident Commander for Pacific Northwest Team 3. Myself and Randy Johnson, my deputy, will be talking to you daily as we continue these briefings. Want to really compliment the Southwest Team 1 on the fine work that they've done for you for the last 2 weeks, and the great handoff that they've given us here today, setting us up for success as we move forward over the next couple of weeks with our tenure. Pacific Northwest Team 3 is from the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, and Washington. In fact, just last week, we were over in the Madras area working on the other side of the hill on these incidents. So we're happy to be in Western Oregon, happy to be serving you. As I say, we'll be looking at the work that was just outlined by operations and the opportunity given with the weather forecast. The rain is a great thing. It's slowed things down, giving people an opportunity to really make some good progress. The drying that we're going to see next week, I'd say, is also a good thing, because it allows us to do some work, mitigate some hazards, and identify problem areas, as Stu pointed out, as smoke start to pop up and that sort of thing. So we'll be focused on that, focused on communities, maintaining the containment where it exists and extending it where it doesn't. And just looking forward to a good operation. So thanks for having us, and back to you.
So Nolan, we've got a question online. They asking about Team 3. Does that mean that you're Type 1 incident management team? Can you clarify?
Oh, sure, certainly. We are a Type 1 incident management team in the Pacific Northwest. There are 2 interagency Type 1 incident management teams. We're one of the 2. Don't ask me why there's not a number 1, but there's a number 2 and 3, just the way it works. It's the Pacific Northwest, right? So ourselves and our sister team have been working fires this summer. As I mentioned, we were just on the other side of the crest of the Cascades, just came off the Lionhead fire, in fact. So
Thank you.
you bet. Okay.
So to wrap us up this evening, I'd like to introduce Paul Teagan from the Bureau of Land Management.
Good evening, everyone. Paul Teagan with Bureau of Land Management, one of your 3 agency administrators. I wanted to come before you this evening on behalf of the BLM, the Oregon Department of Forestry, and the United States Forest Service to thank Southwest Area Team 1 for their incredible work over the last 2 weeks. If you, like me, have been watching these briefings every evening, the team does an amazing job of walking us through their daily progress. But I guess I would just want to take one moment for everyone to go back 2 weeks in time to the moment that Alan and his team inherited. And the map didn't look like this, and the air wasn't as clear as it is today. And the reason the agencies bring in a Type 1 team is their ability to bring calm to chaos. And their team has shown remarkable professionalism over the last 2 weeks. And I think for the agencies especially, have done an outstanding job on this landscape and with the communities that are most affected by it. And I really want to thank Alan and his entire team. What it takes to be on a Type 1 team, the commitment it takes. You hear about the 700 firefighters on the ground. To be in a Type 1 team, it's not just the 4 people you're seeing every night, but it's dozens and dozens of people that make sure those firefighters get fed, that they stay safe the entire time, that everyone gets paid on time. And it's really remarkable, and it's been a pleasure working with the team. And on behalf of the hosting agencies, again, want to thank everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you. With that, I think we've addressed many of the questions online. If you still have questions that weren't answered, feel free to call the Public Information Officer number posted on InstaWeb there. Again, the next team of information officers will continue on to provide these updates on the Facebook page here. So thank you for joining us and have a good night.